Mark, I've got your ad up here. I was just reading through your writing here. Pattern Z shape. Yeah, that Z to shape pattern you're talking about, that's actually known as a reverse S. So instead of a Z, it's more of a reverse S. And you got it, definitely, you got it. I mean, I think that the hierarchy is outstanding. I do have a couple of improvements suggestions for improvement on the hierarchy, but I think the general flow is pretty good. You're showing good proficiency in all of the outcomes and the objectives associated with the assignment. One area I would, well, actually, let me tell you where my suggestions for improvement are. The background image is a little bit flat, meaning the distribution of tone could be enhanced a little bit. Talking about contrast, so basically we're looking at the difference of the darkest of the dark tones without going to pure black. Talking about the shadow areas and the highlight areas, and there's just not enough tonal distribution. That's another way of saying the contrast can be improved in the background image. My recommendation: look at the contrast in the foreground image as compared to the background image. The eye is drawn to the foreground image more so than the background image, and I think that we want a symbiotic relationship as opposed to a dominant relationship where this is the dominant image. So my recommendation, of course, is to increase the contrast associated with the background image. I would recommend doing so using a levels adjustment. At that point, I think we can do a couple of things. Let me just I'm going to grab a straight edge because I want to see something here real quick. I'm just going to do some quick measurements. Okay, good alignment there. And that's aligned with, okay. So basically what I would do is this. So you got your 7-day getaway. I would take beauty and luxury at its finest and create a basic subhead out of that. I mean, a true subhead where you're left aligning it and just spanning it, maybe going to 2 lines on that, but not 3. So maybe try to come out here. So beauty and luxury at its finest. So 2 lines, or even stretch it into 1 line. Beauty and luxury at its finest. And then make sure that is larger than that. Make sure you've got 2 subheads, and the one is an introduction to the promotion, and the other is a true subhead. So this should be larger than this. Otherwise, the viewer will go from here to here, back up to here, then down here. We don't want them doing that. We want them to come in and just kind of go through the ad as such. Okay, so again, increase the size here, left align, place it here. It may entail having to change the color as that white's going to reside over the white of the building. It could impede legibility and readability and visibility therein. Okay, other than that, I think you're really good. One other suggested change would be to take this address, move it down to this corner. You could even drop this after Boulevard, drop St. Thomas VI to the next line, but make sure it aligns with the 716 instead of the address. So you'll create 4 lines here on this side, but 3 lines on this side. Okay, for your contact information right there, and then we'll just take this logo and drop it right here. And that's not going to interfere at all with the visibility or the recognition of that foreground image being a human figure with the stones on it on the back. So don't worry about that. But other than that, I think it's an outstanding ad. I think it's really super accessible, good hierarchy. A couple of little minor changes there. I think we're going to really improve the harmony associated with the composition. So I would like to see those changes reflected in your final submission for the magazine ad, which is coming up here quickly in a couple of weeks. So if you want to make those changes and run this ad by me again, I'll be more than glad to provide additional comments. But as I said, I would like to see those changes reflected in your final ad. At this point, I'd say the most important thing is to get with me if you have any questions at all. Okay? Thanks very much, Mark.